Thanks for clicking on this video. Be sure to subscribe and click the bell icon and turn on all notifications to keep up to date with the latest information and discussions. Now, if you're wondering why I used the name Hercule instead of our savior's true name in the title, well, you can thank Mr. Yellow Dollar. Hey guys, MasakoX here, and it's April Fool's time again! If you remember last year's What If special, for this time of year, we like to dabble in the tales of what ifs that are really silly. Like last year, we did What If Broly Turned Good? A what if so bizarre, at least at the time, it was the perfect material for What If for April Fool's Day, which got so popular it then spawned its own series like everyone else, and in the end, yeah, you know what happened. I actually originally planned to do a part every single year, but since the Dragon Ball Super Broly movie has now put the idea of a good boy Broly in the public eye, and quite easily I have to say, I'm glad that we did what we did with the formula. So what could I do this year which was quite silly that would really befit an April Fool What If? I know! Let's do something with a character that doesn't have a lot to say about his backstory, which can be elaborated on in the form of a what if with looser rules than usual. And that is it. Hercule! Now, okay, I know that you guys aren't happy with me saying the dub name instead of his original name, but like I said, I'm bound by Mr. YT. Sorry folks. In any case, in our April Fool What Ifs, we can be a little less rigid with what comes in terms of making a story. We can really dabble into what little information that we have concerning this notable character, and really conjure up an idea which would elevate him to the next level. Something that the World Martial Arts Champion would embrace and get his just rewards from. Big shout out to Vitas Varnas for the idea, by the way. It was a really good one, and at first I didn't think it could work, but lo and behold it did. Hercule, or I'll try and say Mr. Satan, and see what happens. Maybe just Mark, because technically that is his real name. No joke. Anyway, whatever his name is, despite his lack of power in the main series, he left a huge impact. The question is though, where do we begin with this what if? We could begin it after the World Martial Arts Tournament in age 767, days before the Cell Games were happening, but I feel that this wouldn't really make for a good starting point. No, for a backstory, we need to go back to the realms of his past. Now before 2014, we knew nothing about that, apart from a brief flashback in the anime when he actually won the Tenkaichi Budokai and became the World Martial Arts Champion. Now thanks to an entry in Saikyo Jump, we finally have some clues as to his backstory. So our story takes place at a dojo named Satan Castle. See the name? That's where Hercule got it from. He was so good that he was dubbed Mr. Satan in honor of the dojo. He carried that dojo throughout the world and obviously gave a lot of revenue from wannabe martial artists. It's uncertain based on this tidbit from Toriyama when his rise to power in the dojo specifically took place, as he was a youngster. My best guess that it would be that he became a world champion of swords when he was much younger than he was in age 767. For the purposes of this story with looser what if rules, I'm going to be setting this in age 757, 1 year after Goku won the 23rd Martial Arts Tournament on Papaya Island. Hercule has recently been granted the name Mr. Satan after winning the World Championship for the Junior Division in a separate tournament. His master had been recently slain, according to Saikyo Jump's filler, by Cyborg Tao, after the mercenary had been mocked for his appearance and hairstyle by Hercule's master quite foolishly. This whole incident gave rise to Hercule's aversion to fighting crazy strong guys, basically blagging his way to the top. That's where all of that bravado comes from. His dojo is also the place where he learned the tactic of blaming a disinclination of fat on a really bad stomachache. I thought I'd throw that little factoid in there for you, just if you were curious. But wait, don't get me wrong. Hercule is a strong guy. His power level has never really been established properly at this point. It's anywhere between 50 and 150 from various sources. One put him down at like 10. That doesn't seem right. So, for the sake of this argument, I'm going to place his in the middle of all that at about 100. It's not as strong as Bacterian, but Hercule could take on the majority of martial artists and come out on top. Okay, so we got the power level confusion out of the way. Let's set the scene and take our minds back to age 757. It's the day after Hercule's master has been felled by Cyborg Tao. Right now, Cyborg Tao is too strong to take on right now solely with Mr. Satan at the helm. So he has to find a new master. Right now, he is the strongest fighter in his neck of the woods. No other being could help him out right now. Maybe he could look for that guy who won the World Martial Arts Championship a year or so ago. He can't quite place the name though. He tries to find out via his friends and colleagues, but there's nothing on the guy. Nobody knows anything about him, just the fact that he's called Goku maybe? But he hasn't been seen since winning the contest. And now that you mention it, neither is that Ma Jr. guy that Goku fought. It was pretty brutal, and maybe Mr. Saturn could learn something from those two, but there's nothing. So much for that then.
Okay. How about the previous winner, Ten Shinhan?
Nope, same result.
Jackie Chun?
Well, there is something there. Rumors have it that Jackie Chun retired to an island deep out at sea. Nobody has tried to find him, as venturing out to that part of the world is considered dangerous. Not to mention arduous and kind of pointless because it's just a rumor. I mean, why would you go all the way out there with just a hunch? It would take days for you to get there, and so far, people haven't been that enthused to give it a go. That is until Hercule stepped up. If this guy could beat Goku back in the day, who then went on to win the world title, then he could be the one to teach him enough to avenge his former master and earn that pesky Tao. After many days at sea, Hercule has just about made it to the rumored location of Chun's house, but there's nothing there. Suddenly, a huge storm whips up. What looks like a huge ball of energy is coming towards him. Its blue aura is getting larger and larger, with the champ barely having enough time to jump out of the way and into the water. In said water, Hercule desperately tries to swim for safety, but he then blacks out. Little does he know that he was near Kame House, but he was just off by maybe a couple hundred feet and he wasn't looking. When he comes to, he is greeted by a bald young man with no nose, and a turtle who seems to be talking. Hercule jumps up
and stammering about how that turtle can talk.
The young man laughs and apologizes for scaring him. Sorry about that, friend. The name's Crillon. Sorry for wrecking your boat. I gotta be more careful with my training there. Well, what's your name?
My name's Mr. Saturn.
Saturn? You mean in that dojo?
Yeah, that one. I'm the main guy.
Isn't that the dojo where students are taught to fake illnesses to give their opponents the slip? What a sneaky trick. I wouldn't do that.
I'm the main guy that stands against him. My name's ironic, you see. Mr. Saturn is what they want to call me. Yeah.
Hercule thinks that he's gotten away with this, but then a coughing older man appears laughing at the youngster's excuses. Roshi knows exactly who he is and why he's here. He wants to get stronger so he can avenge his master. Hercule is stunned. How did he know that?
You some kind of psychic old man? Where's Jackie Chun?
First off, you're looking at him. And second, I heard it on the news. We got a TV here, you know.
Hercule doesn't know where to start. He can't possibly be expected to believe that this old man is Jackie Chun. He's got no hair. To test this, he picks up a rock and throws it at Roshi, but I think you know where this is going. Roshi just easily catches it. He then walks up to Hercule calmly and then uppercuts him into the sea again. Aw, man, he just got dry. When Hercule wakes up again, he is inside on the couch. He gets up and apologizes for doubting the master. Since he now knows why he's here, he should be willing to help. But Roshi isn't so hospitable. He's not necessarily going to take on board some kind of amateur who's been taught poorly. That old master deserved what he got for being so careless. Now, the reason why Roshi is out here, he's got a reason for it. It's to get away from punks who want to get strong to impress ladies. Crillon and the turtle roll their eyes at this, understandably. Hercule then picks up a nearby magazine, which is Roshi's. He questions it, and then Roshi frantically nabs it.
Who said you could touch my stuff? But I thought that you detested that kind of thing.
Oops, Roshi got rumbled. Crillon walks to Roshi and tries to reason with him. Come on, Master Roshi, take him on. Things have been pretty boring since Goku and Chi-Chi went back to the forest. They don't come around anymore. We could use some more company. And besides, I want to help train this guy. He's my age roughly from the looks of it, and who knows? I could get some use out of him too. Roshi thinks for a moment. He is a youngster, and in terms of power, he is pretty decent. Much more so than most punks that he's seen at tournaments. Roshi then agrees to take him on, and from there on out, Hercule is a pupil of the Turtle School, albeit reluctantly on Roshi's part. First off, we get the power assessment like Goku and Crillon did years ago. Crillon and Hercule do the running test, and Crillon gets a time of 5 seconds, and Hercule about 9 seconds. Not bad. Crillon is really helping Hercule out here by encouraging him, whereas Roshi is silent. Crillon feels bad for Hercule losing his master like that, and hey, it's Crillon. He's everyone's friend. Next is the ROC Test. Find the rock with the Kame symbol on it in 30 minutes and you win. Hercule at first is really bad at finding it, but when he really knuckles down and stops blaming himself like he's been doing for all this time, and denying his own abilities, he steps up and does manage to find it with seconds to spare. Unlike Crillon when he was a kid, Hercule doesn't get food poisoning like they did before. As the days and weeks roll on, Hercule marches through the different kinds of training. All the such methods such as the milk run and the ploughing exercise with ever-increasing ease. Roshi's training made Hercule realize that he'd been hiding behind excuses, which hindered his potential. Now that he actually trusted his own power and skills, as well as having Crillon's support, Hercule is proving to be quite the adept student. Except with the bee training. That he could use some work on. Hercule doesn't really like the bees. I mean, who does? In any case, after a year's worth of training, Hercule has increased his power considerably. Going from 100, he's around 250 now. And hey, even Crillon upped his game a little bit by going up to 350. He's technically stronger than Goku now. Once Roshi has been satisfied with his basic training, he allowed Hercule and Crillon to spar between themselves to hone their craft, until such a time Hercule thinks himself ready to avenge Tao. The time has come. Hercule is ready. Hercule then returns to the shore, with Turtle providing a lift. After returning to the Satan Castle dojo, he greets his former colleagues and demands to know where Tao is. Tao has been seen doing his thing and squaring up against thugs at local bars. It's pretty much what Tao was doing when Hercule's master had fallen. He wasn't going to let that happen again to anyone else. Hercule successfully finds Tao in the bar, chatting up some women, but not before Hercule shouts out,
Tao! Outside! Now!
Tao is puzzled, but keeps his cool. He recognizes the youngster and decides to play along. He didn't seem all that strong. Plus, he's seen this shtick before. The young buck out for revenge. Oh dear, oh dear, oh I'm going to be in trouble. They retreat outside, and the face-off begins. Hercule vows to avenge his master and to protect his girlfriend, whom he had promised before leaving for Roshi's place that he'd come back and marry her someday. Tao was the last piece in the puzzle for his life to start anew. Tao says nothing and just gets into position. The two begin a truly gripping martial arts round. Tao, surprised that Hercule is actually getting stuck in instead of relying on excuses like his dojo relied on so much. But Hercule just retorts saying,
I'm done making excuses. I'm ready to give you an excuse to give up.
The match is in Hercule's favor, and Tao can sense this. He charges up his eye lasers, but it takes a while. Then Hercule stops. He channels his energy and powers up like Roshi. His top bursts open, and he is buff as Roshi was, which surprises Tao. Oh no, Hercule is charging a Kamehameha.
Kamehameha!
The beam strikes the eye lasers. There is a brief beam struggle, but Hercule is the victor, leaving Tao on the ground, injured and scared. He expects Hercule to off him, like any other young buck would in that situation if they got the chance. But the champ doesn't. He spares him.
Don't ever let me catch you around here again. Leave this place! You got that, punk?
Tao then scrambles to his feet and runs out of town. He thought Goku was bad, but this guy's worse. At last, Hercule has had his day, and he is victorious. And that is where we're going to be leaving things for right now. So what do you guys think? Did you like this idea of Hercule being a pupil of Roshi's? Did this work out in the lore of April Foolery for you? Leave a comment below and let's get this discussion going. And I shall see you in the next video. Catch you later!